are like the perfect crusty on the outside and then like nice and caramelized on the, oh, this is gonna be best. The best
Now it's time to turn it into a sauce.
Oh man, you're gonna, okay.
A little bit of flour.
All right.
So we'll just mix that around.
Okay.
And a little bit of beer.
Okay.
So it's
I told you it was
blonde
pizza and
ale
beer. Uh-huh. Yeah.
From Brazos Valley Brewery. And
That's
I tell you
right.
what, were you gonna introduce?
We were speaking of the,
I'm done speaking.
We recently took a trip to Brenham, Washington County, and we visited a really neat brewery there called Brazos Valley. A couple of guys named Josh. Y'all take a look.
It took about a year and a half to do the business plan, get the funding lined up, and then we started construction out here in January of 2013. I did all of the engineering design for the steam piping, the glycol piping, that's for the tank cooling, and the brew house piping as well. We didn't buy a off-the-shelf brewery. We bought vessels and pieced it together and then did the piping design, plumbed it up, and basically did it all ourselves. And then about 10 months or so of construction, we were finished and kicking out our first commercial brews. And we hit the market in December, a week before Christmas of 2013. So we're almost a year and a half into it now.
Good.
I'd say you're doing a pretty incredible job.
It's been fun.
How many folks do you have working for you?
Just 4 in total. There's 4: sales, marketing, and the beer garden. Yeah.
Wow.
So this is truly the micro of micro brews.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so this tank's got our IPA in it. We dry hopped it about 4 or 5 days ago, and that means we added a little bit over 30 pounds of hops to the fermenter. Hops grow on vines. In the U.S., they grow predominantly in the Pacific Northwest, Oregon, Washington. We source our hops from the Willamette Valley. And you can grow hops here in Texas, but the heat is so intense, and with drought, it hasn't been a commercially viable operation for anyone yet. During the brewing process, we add hops to get bitterness, and then after fermentation, right when it gets near the finished alcohol content, we'll add more hops and let those hops just soak in the tank. Okay. And that gives it hop aroma so that you can smell the hops when you're drinking the beer. And we let it sit for about 5-6 days with those hops in there, and then we'll transfer it to another tank to get all the hop particles out. And then after we give it another day at 32 degrees, all of the particles, sediment, yeast, whatever's left in there will start to fall out to the bottom. And then we can add a little bit of CO2 and get it to the right carbonation level that we want, and at that point, then we package it.
I tell you what, I'm not a big beer drinker, but that dark beer was spot on. You gonna go ahead and finish that while we're here?
What?
Yeah, go ahead. Are you gonna be able to complete the meal?
Nope. All
you want me to take over?
Take it over.
All right, so what we do is, we're gonna stir this around, and then where's that bread? I need that bread.
Where's that bread? We're gonna add a little bit of cream to that.
Oh,
oh yeah.
Oh, yes.
And that's gonna continue to thicken.
Uh-huh. It's got that flour in there, and that's gonna get it nice and thick. And then you're gonna do that.
A little bit of that milking white cheddar curd. So now we'll turn down the heat. That's an important step to make sure that the cheese doesn't get overcooked and start to separate out.
Right.
And now we'll do a couple other things. So to go on this pizza, we're gonna do some roasted tomatoes.
Okay.
So if you don't have time to do the dehydrated ones, we've done several times on the show, which I know you're a big fan of.
That's my new favorite trick.
Right, well, if you don't have time, we're just going to roast these at a higher temperature, and that's gonna take the moisture out. I think that one of the most common things to mess up your pizza are your tomatoes, because they can make the crust really soggy. So here's one option, is just to cut them in half, put them in our oven that we're cooking our bacon at 400 degrees, put these in for about 10 to 12 minutes so while the bacon's cooking.
Okay.
We're roasting off those tomatoes.
Okay.
All of that is gonna come together to kind of put this entire delicious
So guarantee no soggy tomatoes there? Oh, look at that. Y'all are really excited, aren't you?
Time for you to roll out some
Time to roll the dough? All right, let's roll the dough.
Okay, little tip here is kind of throw your flour because you don't want big chunks of flour sticking to the crust. So we just throw it. That's an even coating. So if you'll start working that.
Okay, thank you. Just let me put a little on my fingers. Get a little bit more on there. Hang on one second.
And so that's what I was trying.
Yeah, what do you want?
Nothing, just go ahead and
This
roll
needs
that out.
actually, I used to be a professional at rolling dough, and I'm serious. And the more flour, the better, actually.
Well, geez, I'm going to ask Mom and Dad for the money for culinary school back.
Just finish your beer. Okay. So anyway, as I was saying, oh, it's time to take a break. We'll be right back. Stay with us.